Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use, for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute and might otherwise be infringing. The copyright laws of the United States recognizes a fair use of the copyright content. Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act states, notwithstanding the provisions of Section 106 and 106A, the fair use of a copyrighted work, including use by reproduction in copies of phone records or by any other means specified by the section, for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research, is not an infringement of copyright.
Bags, we're hitting the road with Chris, Boston, and Brandon. We'll see the horrors unfold. From haunted houses to the darkest scenes, immersive horror, it's more than just dreams. Buckle up, we're on the road. Horror road trip, let the fear unfold. Extreme haunts and ghosts we'll find in the rearview mirror, leave the world behind. Eerie woods and ghost towns lost, discussing horror movies, no matter the cost. The thrill of the scare, the rush of the fright, we're chasing darkness all through the night. Buckle up, we're on the road. Horror road trip, let the fear unfold. Extreme haunts and ghosts we'll find in the rearview mirror, leave the world behind. Eerie woods and ghost towns lost, discussing horror movies, no matter the cost. The thrill of the scare, the rush of the fright, we're chasing darkness all through the night. Buckle up, we're on the road. Horror road trip, let the fear unfold. Extreme haunts and ghosts we'll find in the rearview mirror, leave the world behind. Paranormal whispers in the dead of night. Chris, Boston, Brandon chasing every fright. Lights flicker, shadows grow on this horror road. There's so much to know. From coast to coast, every haunted site. Immersive horror, oh what a sight. Discussing chills that crawl up your spine. With horror road trip, it's always time. Buckle up, we're on the road. Horror road trip, let the fear unfold. Extreme haunts and ghosts we'll find in the rearview mirror, leave the world behind. So hit subscribe and join the ride. With horror road trip, there's no place to hide. Every scream and every ghostly slip, come along for the ultimate horror road trip.
What is up, everyone?
Hello.
Welcome to a special Monday Night Live. We got our boy Danny Burke in the back. We'll be bringing him up shortly, but let's say hi to some folks real quick.
Yes, we got a few new faces here. Chelsea Carey Boig, Tails Trails Tacos, T. Henson, MyTube, Bustin, Veruca, ND Greenlight Go, nice to see you, Megan, Jackie Art, who am I missing? Horror Road Trip, Carrie C, good to see you, D. Dot, Sister Squad, Megan, Anon. I could keep going.
There's so many people. Thank you for
thank
joining
you guys
us tonight. I know you're all here to see the one and only Danny Burke. Do I bring him up now? Are we ready?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
What's up?
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Dude, I love that intro.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So when we do lives, it sends out a notification to people, but usually it's like 2 or 3 minutes into the live before that notification goes out. So we have to have like a 4-minute song to play to get people in here.
I like it.
Yeah. Danny's not used to the lives. He's used to hardcore editing. I don't think most people realize how much work goes into a 30-minute video.
Yeah,
It's insane.
It sucks. I like it when the video's almost done, but
Right, that's the fun part.
Yeah, all the dirty work, it's horrible, but you gotta get it done.
Yeah, but you grind, man. I mean, Chris and I were lucky enough. You'd call us up, over the past month, to show us like a little behind the scenes of what you're working on. And I think the end result was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think the number one most important thing is that Shay approved. And Shaylin, I see you here in chat. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Almost all of her favorite people. Almost. Yeah, so we figured like tonight might be kind of fun to, especially because, thank you so much. You shouted out our channel because you're ending, that was the end of your McKamey Manor series. And you wanted, if anyone wants to follow along all this legal stuff that he's going through.
Well, why wouldn't I not
updates.
shout you out? You guys helped me out so much with that video. I don't think people understand. I didn't know about any of this, and I got on a call with you guys, and I was like, hey, you got to make a video about this? And they're like, we'll help you out, of course. And you guys helped us out. And then, like, getting a hold of Shay and her approving to be in it as well, it's like we made it. It was a team effort.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
we're going to be on that team.
We are. It's a good team. It's a fun team. And we're going to play a few clips from your video. And we're about the arrest and the narcissism and the abuse. We're going to go through that in a little bit, but I thought first it might be fun for us to kind of like rewind and talk about how we all connected. Like, how did this start?
Yep. And real quick, thank you, D-Dot, for the 5 gifted memberships.
Oh, thank you, D-Dot. That was very sweet of you. Yeah, so Chris, do you want to take...
Yeah.
I remember Chris and I were talking the other night, and I was like, I don't know if I said it or you said it, but one of us said something like, isn't it so weird that a year ago you and I were on the phone together and we were like binge watching the Loyal2Doyle series and talking about like how cool these guys are and like how good they are at infiltrating and what they do.
This is before we knew you.
Yeah, it was before we ever talked.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so we start watching the Loyal2Doyle series, me and Boston sitting back, and we're like, these guys get it. These guys know what they're doing. And we'd like your 2 different styles, you definitely both have your own style, and we really enjoyed watching both the same story, but through each of your perspectives. And it was really cool, and we were like, you know what? Danny's the guy. Danny, Ben's great. Danny is our guy that we need to reach out to and talk to.
Yeah. And we adore Ben too. But there's something about, and it's true, you don't see a lot of co-series like that. You and Ben work on these series together. And for me personally, usually when you see that, like you'll find one creator that you'll follow along, that you prefer. We'd watch Ben's episode 1 and then your episode 1. Yeah. Ben's yours, because they both have something to give. So for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, Ben and Danny are amazing at infiltrating, hence the title. We're kind of infiltrating Danny tonight.
Let's
go. Let's go. But if you haven't seen the McKamey Manor series, please, I know our mods in here are going to be dropping links. That's kind of how it all really started, as far as you guys connecting and us starting to talk with each other.
Yeah, and you guys were a big help behind the scenes a lot in that series as well, which we really appreciate. Like, you gave us so much intel that we didn't know.
Yeah, that was a tricky one because we were amidst NDAs at the time, so we couldn't really like be in the forefront with you guys. But by the end, we made our appearance, and it was awesome. The movie Boston, the movie comes out. Me and Brandon go on our little cross country tour, and it ended in LA, where we got to hang out with Danny and Ben and go through the 17th door and take them through a haunt. And
that was really fun. It was really fun. It was really cool to meet you guys, because you guys are even way cooler in person.
Oh, I appreciate that, man.
I was very much FOMO, just so everyone knows. I was
bummed too. I was bummed too.
I was on group chat and individually chatting Brandon and Chris the entire, like, give me an update. Are they cool? Like, are they cool in real life? And eventually Chris had like 5 minutes to call and was like, Danny is the nicest, like, most genuine person I've ever freaking met. I think we're gonna actually be friends.
Ben, like, if you try, like, back in the day, if you try to reach out to Ben, like, he loves everyone too, but he's so focused on work that he won't even check his phone. Like, he's my best friend, and I haven't got a hold of him in 2 days. I call me back and go, dude, sorry, I've just been locked in. I'll be like, no worries. Like, I always worry about him because he doesn't answer, and then, like, he'll get back to me, and then he's totally fine. He's just been grinding, and he doesn't check his phone. I will talk to anyone. Like, I'm a big procrastinator anyways, but...
Yes, you do that. You call while you're working on something.
Yeah.
To show us what you're working on, and then it turns into a totally different conversation.
I feel like my work ethic's good, but if I had Ben's work ethic, it would be even better. Like, the guy just is... he's very inspiring.
Yeah, he is. I'll message Ben, and like a week later at like 5 a.m. I'll get a message back like, hey dude, what's up?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of how the friendship started. Ben and Danny are working on their McKamey Manor series, and episodes were coming out, and then the Hulu documentary came out, and you know, they met in person, they became friends. For people that don't know, of course, we tell you to go check out the series. But for people that don't know what this series was all about, we have a little clip to show you.
Let's play that real quick.
Yeah.
Famous surfer from San Diego, California, Danny Burke, has arrived to take on the manor today.
So Russ starts it off by putting a dog shock collar on me.
Have a seat on the deck, and we're going to put a little collar on you. Above his calf. Above his calf.
But it's pretty funny because Russ doesn't know that this is actually pretty fun for me.
You feel it?
Yeah. Russ, I 100%.
Well, it's my turn to go through what people are calling the world's scariest haunted house, McKamey Manor. If you missed the last episode, YouTuber Reckless Ben ended up going through the manor first.
Good job.
So we also found out that by me going through McKamey Manor, that McKamey Manor doesn't exist.
Russ will never let you win. They even tapped out Ben because their phone was dying.
My low battery just come on.
On me, you did? Come on out.
So straight away, I'm thinking I'm going to this most insane haunted house. But in reality, the guy's just embarrassing me.
Danny, that bag is my baby. Do not drop my baby.
Hear that?
Don't you drop my baby.
Give me some directions. Follow Ben's boy. I'm going to just scream. I'm not... Nothing's supposed to be scary yet.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. You said no screaming.
That's all you got, Russ? Seriously? What's scary about this?
Well, that's really all it is it's just you doing exercises in his front yard.
And Russ is just not psyched that I feel this way.
Danny, don't fuss. Don't argue. Just do what I say. Don't complain.
I completely understand and I
Don't
I respect
complain.
that. It's not complaining, it's simple questions.
Okay, no, well, you
Because
see,
the
I'm
manor's
better
looking.
to know.
Oh my God,
The
I can't
manor's
do
the
it.
craziest haunted house in the world.
We haven't
right?
done anything yet. I'm not going to explain this, Danny.
Am I being rude? It's just literally simple questions. And I'm so confused because I came here for something else.
We're really blowing it, you know that?
You want a lap dance? Because I got a rat in my pants. Take me through a rat race, Russ.
20 burpees right now. You gotta count them out loud.
Well, we accomplished our goal. Our goal was to get the professionals, like the police, the top judicial people in the state to look at this, and they're now looking at it. So, I mean, we kind of accomplished our goal. And then if Russ truly is doing bad things, like, they're going to shut him down. So,
Well, of course he's doing bad things. We just watched a guy get dragged by a car.
but it's not in our hands anymore. It's up to the professionals, the judicial systems.
I mean, that was a good ending.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of says it all. But yeah, so there's so much more episodes. of this entire, how Ben and Danny infiltrated McKamey Manor. I assume most of you here have seen it. Lots of familiar faces, but if you haven't, please check out. And it's worth watching both, in my opinion. You guys both have such different styles. So yeah, that's kind of how the series left off for you guys. Is that the law got involved? The investigation from the Attorney General started, and then a lot of lawsuits.
Yeah, so, we thought we were done because it's up to the professionals' hands. And then Ben was actually completely done with the series. And then, I found out about what happened to Shay, and I was like, I think people need to know the real truth. And then I asked you guys, do you want to be involved? And then Shay want to be involved. And then I got my last McKamey Manor episode.
Yeah, we're about to get into that. I got a couple questions about the series, though.
Yeah.
When did Ben approach you about this, or was this like something you guys talked about before?
No, he approached me. I was in Bali because I always go to Bali. It's just like my favorite place, and I just I don't work there. I just surf, so it's just like my happy place. And then I think 2 weeks before I went home, or like a week before I went home, Ben's like, dude, we're doing another series. It's this haunted house, and I need you to sign up. And so I had to make a video for Russ and submit it. And I was still in Bali when I did that. And then I flew home like a week later, and then I had my interview with Russ and the mods. And then Ben went in the week before that. And then I got accepted, and I went straight the week after. So straight right from Bali back to my house, and then boom, like a week later to McKamey Manor.
So were you nervous at all? Did you think that maybe there was something there?
Yeah, I knew there was loose ties with him. So I was like, this guy knows I do stunts. He's probably going to do the hardest stuff to me because he knows I can handle it. And then we figured, Ben already went through, we kind of figured out what actually happens. And it's all fake, and it will never let you win. So we're like, Ben, let's just, for when I go through, he has stuff in his contract where he says you get stung by insects and stuff, which I've done. And all this stuff that seemed fun. So I wanted to question him about it because he was making me do the stupid stuff. I'm like, dude, take me to that. We know it's all a lie. He doesn't have it. But to question him on it, and he gets so upset that he kicks me out, it was pretty funny.
You're like, dude, I just flew all the way from Bali, and I'm crawling around with dog food.
Yeah.
On my can we just skip this part?
Yeah.
That really upset him because he doesn't really have a whole lot after boot camp, which you guys exposed.
Now, one thing that I do like that you guys did was not only, you went and infiltrated a fake haunt. You showed that it was fake. You showed everything was fake. But then you were like, what do we got to compare it to? And you decided that you were going to take on one of the toughest haunts, and that was Crucible.
Yep, that I cried at.
Just a little bit. But
yeah,
so that was the second time you guys hooked up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Crucible.
Yeah, me and Chris hooked up for sure.
Sorry, got together, met up.
You set me up for that one.
Sorry, we're gonna make someone jealous.
That was the second time me and Chris met up, and I put full trust in him, and it was so funny because we thought Chris was actually going through, and he was messing with us the whole time. He ended up being one of the characters that worked there.
Yeah, he kind of double crossed you a little bit.
No, but funny.
If you
have to make sure you got your footage.
Yeah.
Right. So right before you went in, if you could sum it up in one word, how did you feel?
I mean,
before. No, actually, hold on. I think we can just show you.
Terrified.
1 hour till we go into Crucible. Yeah, how's everyone feeling?
Dude, I feel so sick.
Really?
My nerves are getting to me.
How are you feeling, Danny?
Really scared. Yeah, I still don't want to do it, but we're doing it. I don't know what else to say. I just anytime I think about it, then my heart starts racing.
Would you say the worst part is this part right now, and then we get there and that's not as bad, or is it?
No.
Oh, really? This isn't the
Yeah, it was very scary. The characters were really, really, really good at what they did, though. They were so into their characters that it was like it felt like that was the real person, and they were just really scary. But it was also cool though because like it's underground, and then
Yeah.
so you don't know what time it is or anything. It's dark underground, and so you don't know like how long you've been in there, and yeah, they just hood you like you see in the movies, and you go to your first room, and that room ended up being an electric shock to my brain. And
Yeah.
I do stunts, but I never really messed with my head because I've had a concussion before. So I think it just brought back that concussion, even though it's just it's electric shock, so you're not going to get a concussion. But like, just the fact that it was to my head, it freaked me out. I just started crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. They're good at mixing, from what I've heard. I've never gone through Crucible, but they're good at mixing like the kind of mental, emotional stuff by what they're saying to you, while they are also hurting you in very specific ways. But I was just, and can we get this? Can we table this? Because there are some people out there that have said, when you and Danny went through, it wasn't a fair review because Chris set it all up, told you guys you should go there, and paid for it.
Well, yeah, you have to pay for it.
Right.
You have to.
No. Like that they paid you guys to come give a good review.
We paid. I spent $1,000.
Yeah.
It kind of sucked. I kind of felt like why are we doing this? We're spending $1,000. Like Ben spent $1,000. I spent $1,000, and I think Brandon put in $500. So Ben and I spent the most. And after I gave him the money, I was just kind of like, really, we're really doing this for $1,000? I get a round trip for Bali for basically a little over $1,000. So it would basically cover my Bali trip if I used that $1,000. Like I think Crucible wanted to prove a point that we're legit. So they're not going to stage. They're not going to stage stuff. They're going to go all out. So we talk about like the actual experience of it, and like there was nothing planned or anything. I had no idea what I was getting into. Nothing. I was just terrified. And $1,000 in, I think I last like 3 or 4 hours. I think Ben lasted like 6.5.
That's still a long time. But yeah, it was a completely fair review. And even though Chris does have the connection there to Crucible, and even though Chris did double cross you guys,
I loved it.
Ben is actually the one who said to Chris, like, yeah, we're thinking about doing like a real haunt. And I know you know about extreme haunts, and I heard Crucible's like the number one. So that's, how the conversation started.
So yeah, I mean, it was legit. Ben literally had cuts on his body and stuff. I didn't get that far, so I didn't get cuts on my body, but Ben literally had cuts.
Ben went through it. So just so that people know too, the $1,000 price was because it was a private show. Right. It's usually not, because it's usually a lot more people going through it, so that cost is lower. But so that it was just a small confined group, that's why that price was so high.
Where are we at? Oh, okay. Do you want to take the? I mean, Shay is here in chat.
Yeah.
But do you want to kind of explain what happened?
You go right now.
Okay. So everything was kind of, I wouldn't say quiet, but everyone was kind of just, Danny went to Bali again, like somewhere where you had to like hunt for your food and stuff. Like it was very remote. So we didn't talk.
My cousin owns a piece of land in this island called Sumba, and it's like on this perfect wave that no one knows about. And you're kind of living off the land, and there's like nothing but locals, and they don't speak English, but my cousin speaks perfect Indonesian, and no cell service.
Right. So that's where Danny was for quite a while. So we kind of lost touch, but we had been following up on the various different lawsuits. And in this time, Trans World happened. I mean, so much has happened. I don't want to like ramble on about everything. But in this time, we, the three of us, myself, Brandon, and Chris, started talking to Shaylin. This was prior to Shay moving in with Russ, but at the time we knew that they were kind of dating. She had reached out to us kind of in our Facebook group, and we told her, you know, it started with the boys. No hard feelings. Like, obviously we hate your boyfriend. We just want you to be safe. Here's the warning signs, you know, here's some stories from some of his exes. And she kept talking to us, to the boys, I should say. It started with you and Brandon. Eventually I introduced myself, but we became genuine friends. I think we talked almost daily. And as you all know, sadly, there was some horrible abuse, manipulation, all the trademark signs of a controlling, an abusive type of relationship. She would share things with us when she was afraid, maybe if she wanted proof if something were to happen to her. I mean, there was some times where she was really scared. I don't want to go through the entire story. But Danny got home. Do you want to drop that link?
Yeah.
Carrie or you. So if anyone hasn't seen it yet, a few days after Russ was arrested.
It's about to hit 100K. It's pretty sick.
Your video?
Nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh
crazy.
my gosh.
And haters are going to be like, oh, he only cares about the views. I care about it's about to hit 100K, not for the views, because I wanted a bunch of people to see this video too, so Russ doesn't hurt anyone else and the truth gets out there.
Absolutely.
So who's ever going to make false accusations, don't, because I just told you the truth right now.
Absolutely.
All right, go on. Sorry. I get heated. I hate when people say that because I know. Care. I actually care.
You do. You actually genuinely care, and that's the whole reason that I think Shay, like, it's very obvious when you talk to you or even just see your videos, and I think that's the whole reason that Shay trusted in you. Yeah, I knew if something happened, nobody would know because he took my phone all the time. So if I had a safe contact, people would know. Yeah, and we kind of were her safe contact. So the link that just got dropped, that is the video we made. I think like 2 days after the arrest happened. Shay asked us, because news and media was already getting out there. There was already news articles, and she just said, "Can you just do some, like, explain what happened?" So we did. Danny gets back from Bali and is like, "Hey guys, what's up? So Russ got arrested?" We were like, yeah, you know, and kind of filled him in. And at that point, did you reach out to Shay?
Yeah, I reached out to Shay.
Okay. Yeah. Cause you said, I think you asked us, like, would she, and you're a friend of ours, you know, and I think you had asked, would she be comfortable talking to me? And I was like, give it a shot. Sure. So you kind of already touched on it a little bit, but why was it important for you to make this specific video and to get Shay's word out there?
With Russ's relationships, a lot of like Holly, for instance, she had to run away, and like a bunch of bad stuff has happened with these relationships, but Russ hasn't got punished for it. And yeah, he got arrested and he could be going to prison and stuff, but we don't officially know that. And I just thought if he gets away with it, he's going to do the same thing to the next girl. And so why not get the truth out there for people that think he's a good guy or don't know any of this, and so they know the actual truth about him, and so he doesn't hurt anyone else, and we can like prevent future victims. And like other than the haunt, how he tortures people and there's like real victims and stuff, there's real victims in his relationship. So I just feel like it's all should add up together, and like this guy needs to be punished for this. the truth needs to get out there. And I feel like it could have been like a kind of like a video, because there's so many people that are in abusive relationships, and maybe they're super scared to talk about it or get out, and then they watch this video or something. What if this video could be helping other victims as well? Like, I don't want to get about, and I don't want to talk about like my exes, but I've had some crazy narcissistic exes. So that's the reason that Shay trusted me for this video, because we bonded over stuff that I told her about, like my exes. And I think Shay understood that I knew a lot of, like, I've been through a lot of stuff. And she's like, okay, I trust this guy with this because he's been through it as well. And I don't know, it was just, I felt, even though I don't like editing, this video felt just really important to me. I think because I've been through some stuff, I guess, because I did a lot of research about how to get through like these abusive relationships. So it felt good to kind of like let people know about another abusive relationship so I can help people. Or I just want to, like, it was like a helping people video or
bringing awareness.
I think, yeah. I think it's already started to, I mean, I've seen comments on the video of people like sharing their stories and feeling kind of empowered that like they also got out of, you know, a situation like that.
And then in these narcissist relationships, you don't get closure. So talking about narcissists in this video, I don't know, it just made me feel good. That's like, I feel like I'm winning over what those people in the past did to me. And I could be doing something good and helping people. And that's why I'm so stoked that the video is doing really well, because I like dedicated my whole life for, I don't know how long that video took. It took months.
It was like a while.
2 or 3 months, maybe. I like didn't do anything but work. And so when you put all that effort into a video and then it's appreciated by doing well, like, it feels good.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to thank Veruca for the super sticker. Thank you so much, Veruca. And then I saw some, Katie Cat. After that, I don't see how anyone could defend Russ McKamey anymore. I mean,
hey, I got a weird comment today. I forgot what it was because I can't look at it right now because I'm using my phone to do this live. But they were like defending Russ.
Yeah, I think that was, Shay says you were able to meet her in her healing process. Like, you were the right person to come into her life at the time, because it's been a roller coaster. And this makes me want to cry.
She's my friend now. I'm really stoked.
I know. It's hard to, both of you, it's hard to not be your friend. Very hard to not be her friend. Yeah. So I'm not surprised you guys hit it off at all.
I'm going to try to get to California and take her skydiving.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. You need to skydive, Shay. And I need video of that. But let's play.
Hey, thanks, Death Pony, for the nice message.
Play video 3?
Yeah. So we're gonna start playing just a few clips from these. So these are clips from the video. Everybody needs to watch if you haven't already. What's it called?
It's called Owner of McKamey Manor Arrested. Interview with Russ's ex-girlfriend, I think. And then it has
there it is.
Like something about audio clips, like leaked audio clips. That's what it's about.
I think Carrie just dropped it, and if we don't already have it in our description, we will make sure to
It's in there. It says you need more Danny. Check out his YouTube channel.
Okay, let's play this clip.
YouTuber Reckless Ben. Big news on McKamey Manor. Russ McKamey, the owner of the world's scariest haunted house in the world,
got arrested for 2 counts of attempted murder and 1 count of rape. We got a hold of Russ's ex-girlfriend that he did all this abuse to and why he has these charges. We also got a lot of information from our friends Chris, Brandon, and Boston. Horror Road Trip on YouTube. Chris used to be Russ's best friend, then turned on him because he realized he's a horrible person. Brandon went through McKamey Manor. He got scammed and been trying to take down Russ ever since. Boston, she got so close with Russ's ex-girlfriend and talking to her throughout the whole relationship. There's no way that anyone else has more information than these 3 people. And it's about to get intense, but the truth needs to get out there so he doesn't hurt anyone else. And so let's get into it, dude.
Let's get into it.
So that's kind of what you just said, the whole purpose of the video. But I think I just wanted to play that one clip because I think that your video has something that there's going to be a ton of videos out there. There already is.
Yeah.
From whether it's TikTok, YouTube, even news articles.
But no one has the actual truth like we all do.
Mm-hmm.
You have a video where you talk to, the only person that you did not talk to in that interview who was involved in the situation was Russ.
Oh, he would never talk to me.
No. I don't know. He was staring at you pretty good with that Speedo, buddy.
Oh, God.
Yeah, maybe if I flirted with him or something.
Yeah, I don't think I have. Wait. I don't think I did that clip. I think that's like one clip I didn't put in here. So, hey, guys, if anyone wants to watch Russ staring at Danny in a Speedo.
Yeah, he was attracted to my eggplant.
Yeah.
But yeah,
make sure to watch Danny's video.
Towards the end of the video, and Shay's just explaining that when I was a stripper, he kept looking down there, and he was like into it. And that was what we were worried about. I was like, Ben, this is gonna backfire. He's gonna like it, and Ben's like, no, it'll be funny, dude. And then turns out he did like it. So, ugh. Oh
no!
We're gonna have a call then.
No comment.
I don't know if you want to have that call, Danny.
No comment.
It won't traumatize me. It's more like I know I'm never gonna see that guy ever again. So just hearing the story, I just think it's funny because I know he's never gonna come near me again. So that's why I just think it's funny.
And for everyone watching, like, there's a lighter mood during this live. This is obviously a very dark topic, a triggering topic for some. I want everyone to keep in mind that we do have Shay here in chat. We all have had a very emotional, rough, crazy past few months. I think that it's okay for us to look back at some of this and breathe and feel relaxed and released. And I know that, like Shay said, you doing this for her was closure. And hopefully we can move on from there.
That's what I want.
So how did we... clip number 4.
You want to do clip number 4?
Yeah, I like this one.
The time before she moved in with him, we talked a lot. Like a real friendship bloomed. We were talking daily throughout the day. Once she moved in with him, that line of communication almost halted unless Russ was in the store or Russ was asleep. And so we saw the control happening.
This is important to know. It wasn't a secret to Russ that we were talking to her. He had basically told her, like, get close with them and get me information. He literally cut her off from all of her friends, from where she came from, all these people. So we became the only people she could talk to because Russ had told her, yeah, continue a relationship with them so you can feed me information. The problem was she didn't end up feeding him anything. Instead, used us as like a safety net for when she was scared.
Shouldn't have fucking anything to do with them unless you're going after them. You shouldn't be doing shit. You shouldn't be socializing with them. How fucking scummy is that you are even having any kind of conversation with those dirt fucking bags? These
I love the ones where he's so mad at us.
Yeah.
At us. I hate that he's taking out on her. That's the thing. No one should be talked to that way.
No, not at all.
He could have been nice and been like, hey, you know what? You talking to Chris, Brandon, and Boston like really upsets me. Like, can you just not do that anymore?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to go off on her.
No.
It's because he expects everybody who likes him, again, whether it's a friend or... Interesting.
Fun fact, Shay's first 20 fights were about Ben and Danny.
Right. So Shay obviously liked him. You know, they were in the beginning of starting a romantic relationship. He liked her, she liked him. I don't think he, in his narcissistic mind, could understand how someone could like him and care about him and be on his side and still like people that he doesn't. That's huge for him. We've seen that with his McKamey Manor Facebook group and any mods or friendships that he's had. Like, you have to, if you're going to be with him, you have to go against the haters, the Ben and Danny's and the road trip. And she had a mind of her own, and he's not used to having to fight so hard to manipulate someone. And I think she, at least for her safety, knew that she had to keep contact with someone. And ironically, we happened to be the ones that at the beginning Russ was okay with her talking to, because he thought she was getting information on us.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, she just needed a safe place to talk to someone. He cut her off from everyone else. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, he wanted
you
to
did
make
get
video.
info? Okay, tell us the info you got on us, Shay. I know what she's going to say, too.
So,
yep.
You guys became close because you bonded. We kind of already touched on all of that. Going into it, do you think that you had ever planned in your head that you were going to build such a strong relationship with Shay?
Me?
No, Danny.
Oh, I'm like, why are you?
I didn't really know. I kind of winged it and asked if she wanted to do this video, and then we got to talk on the phone. I'm like, oh, she's actually really cool and sweet. And like, after we kind of bonded over the narcissistic tactics we've had in our past relationships, I don't know, I feel like that made us closer. I was like, she was really cool and sweet, and I was telling her she deserves someone that values her and treats her like she wants to be treated. And I don't know, it sucks that we live far, because we'd be hanging out all the time. She's cool. But yeah, I didn't even think of it as like a friendship. I was more like, my mind is like, I doubt she's even going to do this interview.
Right.
And so when I called her, I was like, she's going to say no. So I didn't think about friendship, and then realized how cool she is. I was like, she's awesome.
Yeah, I think that us being friends with you, us being friends with her and you naturally kind of falling into this friendship, I think it also gave a level of authenticity and what's the word? Credibility. I feel like the way that you edited the video so perfectly, you did separate interviews, one with Chris Brandon and myself, one with Shay, I think two with Shay, 2 different times, and you were able to tell all of our stories in a chronological order that was just like so easy to comprehend.
Yeah. I really like this by MC Facepalm. I got to admit, Danny's past relationship history really drove everything home in both Shay's perspective and his own.
Yeah,
and that was important to have.
Because I think if I didn't go through something like that, I don't think the video, I couldn't relate to making that video as much. I don't think.
Right.
Because I've been through some crazy stuff, and so I related, and then it was easier to make that video because I related to so much.
And I think that it was that combination of stuff that made that video have so much passion and heart, because it was not only Shay's story, but it was also you showing something that is a major issue out in the world that you have been affected by yourself.
Yeah.
And explaining it so well.
Oh, and it pisses me off when people go like, oh, Shay was defending Russ, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you got to be in a narcissist relationship to understand that you're in a trauma bond. And when my ex did all this crazy stuff, you're like, they were so good at manipulating you and all this stuff that you like still love the person that you thought they were. So you like still want to like defend them. And it doesn't click till later. It does not click till later because it's so hard to believe that people are capable of being like that. You don't want to believe it, but you're like, that happened. And then eventually, like how I clicked, I did all this research about narcissists, and I said every single thing about a narcissist is what she did, like all that, and that's how I got my closure. And I snapped out of it, and I was like, this was the best decision I've ever made in my life. And I was trying to tell Shay that you're going to realize that this is the best decision she ever made in her life. And now she's like way happier now. And but like a lot of people don't get that. People are like, I just don't like that they're saying that because they don't get it. It's like you don't know what a trauma bond is. It's wild.
I agree.
Be in it to get it.
And sad, and you don't want people to be in it because of how awful it is. But I agree. And also just, take time, people, do some research before passing judgment on, especially on any survivor or any victim or survivor, however they'd like to be known. Can we skip ahead and play video 7 real quick? Because I think that fits perfectly with what we were just talking about. So again, this is a clip from Danny's video.
I get is a voice clip, a recording that she took of him banging on the door and telling her to let him in very aggressively.
Leave me alone.
Open the door.
Leave me alone.
Stop locking me out unless you think I'm this monster or something. Stop locking me out.
You already said enough.
Stop getting all discombobulated in your brain. Maybe your trauma is putting you in a whole different place.
You see how he just said, maybe your trauma is putting you in a different place? See, that's manipulation. He did something wrong, and he flips the switch and puts it on her. Maybe your trauma has put you in a different place. That's like straight what a narcissist does.
He is a narcissist. He has immense issues with manipulation, and he can be evil.
And he's also said, stop getting discombobulated in your brain, also making it seem like it's her fault. Her brain's messed up. Like it's this tactic to take everything from him back onto her and making her the problem, that she's getting messed up in her brain. He didn't do anything wrong.
This isn't the first time. That's what's so sad about this, is we've gotten other clips like that.
I just think that perfectly shows what you were just talking about. The importance of like educating people with your videos on this kind of a topic. Instead of just being like, oh yeah, did you see that? You took the time to explain trauma bonding and the manipulation that happens 100%, Shay, and I'm so sorry. Danny should be maybe a new career, Danny.
Yeah, I know. I know so much about it now. I actually could, honestly. I know a lot about it now.
Yeah. And Carrie says, I'm so glad you included an interview with Russ's daughter. Yeah. That was...
I found that clip. That was a clip somewhere. It was like an hour-long video. I had to go through an hour-long video. I pressed the fast-forward button so it goes faster, so you can get through it faster. And I found those clips, and I was like, oh, wow, that's really good to put in the video. Like, she's even admitting this stuff.
Yeah, those I think she did that interview a few years ago, like maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was back in probably 2019.
But it goes to show people aren't just making this kind of stuff up because they don't like the guy or they don't like his haunt. These are people from his family, relationships, friendships, that all are seeing the same thing. And he won't get help. He won't get help. And that's the hardest part. And I don't want to speak for Shay, but I can say that part of my friendship and relationship with Shay, it was a lot of trying to be empathetic to her because she saw someone who needs help. But her instinct was like, oh, I can help him. And it was me trying to be like, girl, this has been 65 years of this, I know how this is going to end. While also trying to be respectful of the fact that like she's an adult. Can't make somebody leave a relationship. I think, so this was huge. Another huge thing in this video is the audio clips that Shay gave you permission to use.
I didn't think she was gonna say yes to that either, and made her understood it would be very valuable to get the truth out there. And then it clicked, and she was like, "You're right, it would." And she trusts me because, like, I told her anything I post, I'm going to show you before. So I got on FaceTime every single clip that she was a part of. I showed her and was like, do you want me to take this out? It's all good. And she didn't want me to take out anything. She was cool with it.
Yeah. And sadly, and you say this in the video, but there's hundreds of these. And even ones that I'm sure she didn't share with us, but that this was over the time in our relationship. And again, it wasn't any kind of like, oh, I'm going to spy on this person. It was in moments where she felt scared.
Yeah, that pisses me off too when people are like, she's spying, like she's a bad person for doing that. It's like, okay, if you're in an abusive relationship and that person is so good at conning you, he's going to con the other person that he's not doing that. So yes, she's recording for her safety, and that is legal. It's legal to record for your safety, and it's to show, like, because what if Russ can just tell someone, oh, I didn't do that, or he can go back to his like other fake personality, and turn it on like, oh, Russ is a good guy, but she actually has proof that he's talking to her this way. Maybe people wouldn't believe her if she didn't have that. It's smart,
and also
really
it's important for her, I think, because when you're being gaslit that much, it's kind of nice to have something where you can go back and like listen again to what he was saying to me, and does this actually make sense? You know? Do you want to play that?
Yeah,
clip real
I'm going to
quick?
play those real quick.
And how does this lead up to where he ends up attempting to murder her?
When she moved down there, she would just out of the blue start sending us clips.
Secret audio clips of like Russ speaking to her very aggressively.
Yeah, and it wasn't one. It wasn't even a handful. I mean, we're talking hundreds probably. I mean, you'd see 20, 25, and then the next day there'd be another.
Didn't make a giant post.
You fucking put it on your reel.
I told you I did.
That is the most disrespectful, sick, disgusting thing you could have ever done to me.
Yeah, you see that comment? That's exactly why I told Shay I wanted him in the video. I just thought it was really, really important.
One thing that I also want to put out there, thank you for the happy birthday wishes.
Wait. They're talking about on that clip.
Yeah.
Wait, did I miss something?
No, it was back in July. But one thing that I want to put out there is people running with, oh, instead of giving it to the police and instead of it being used in court, these were just used for views. And people need to quit being internet lawyers, especially the ones that call us internet lawyers, and know that there was a lot more clips than what the 10, 15 that were used in the video.
Yeah, I personally just used the ones that I thought were best for my video personally.
Yeah.
But there were still some crazy clips that I listened to.
Yeah, and all that stuff was sent in, and just because it's on a YouTube video does not mean it can't be used in court. Now, are they going to take Danny's actual video? They'll just get the original clips and use those clips.
If they even need them or want them.
Need them. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we don't even know if they even are going to use them. But
I will not go into any detail about any conversations, but I've had conversations with the DAs, with people involved in this situation in Tennessee. So if there was anything that wasn't supposed to be happening, they know how to find me. They know how to contact me. I'm sure if they saw me in Danny's video and had an issue with XYZ, they'd let me know. It's not the internet lawyer thing. Keep in mind what you're saying, that you don't have any, this is an assumption or something that you saw in a movie somewhere, or like, oh, you can't use this because it was online somewhere. That's absolute bullshit. And what you say could affect the person who is actually going to court, who maybe has some fear and stress and concern about having to go to these court dates. So chill, back off. Sorry.
And thank you, D-Dot, again for gifting another 5 memberships.
Yeah, D-Dot.
For the new viewers. Yeah, so we do the memberships go to our Real Talk Lives, which are Saturdays. This upcoming month, probably some Fridays in there. Yep. But it's basically where we just
talk shit. They're fun.
We gotta have Danny come up one time. They're fun. We just love these.
So, all right. Do we go into clip
number 6? Yeah. So I think that, yeah, I think this is a good one. Let's play it and then discuss. This is, again, another clip from
She
Gabe's video.
was choked on the front porch.
He choked me on the porch.
Until she passed out and came to and had a seizure.
I hit the grill and was vibrating on the ground. I felt weird for a few days. That happened to me like 5 different times. Sometimes I had a seizure, sometimes I didn't.
And it's only from the choking too?
Yeah, it was scary. I'd never had that before. Very scary because your body's like out of control. Like you can't stop from vibrating and moving. And it's like, it's horrifying.
She just said that she got a seizure 5 different times from Russ choking her.
Yeah, that's really bad. Like one part, it's like nothing new. It's like everyone knew that he was like this, you know? But then the other part is like, that still just like sucks. That's like, why is this still happening? Like, why hasn't like law enforcement stepped in yet? Like, why is he still doing this, you know? And
I went and took a ton of screenshots of everything that she sent. I messaged the DA and I messaged the sheriff's office, and then I called the cops.
They didn't take her, separate her from him. No one's helping.
So even though she was choked out, the cop didn't do anything?
No.
So the cops aren't doing anything?
yeah, and it's like, I mean, this is kind of why I finished my last episode a long time ago. It's because like, we did all we can do. The awareness is out there. There's an official investigation on.
Yeah. So I wanted to just play that clip so that people have maybe skipped through this whole situation, seen little clips here and there, so that people could understand how serious this was, and that the police were contacted multiple times, and it was incredibly frustrating. We're hearing from our friend about things that are happening to her. And I've also heard this criticism, that you shouldn't, you know, if somebody's still there, you shouldn't call the cops because, you know, if the cops don't find anything and they leave, the person could, you know, continue to go through the situation and get hurt more. I call bullshit on that. People can have their own beliefs and their own opinions on that situation. If I know that somebody is in danger in the type of situation where their life could end, I'm not going to hesitate. And I know that Brandon and Chris feel the same way. This is important too.
And
know.
Shay also texted 911 at one point because of Russ threatening.
Did she say something about the separate? At one point, I was trying to get him help. Right. So, and that's the other thing is that she wasn't ready one of the times. She wasn't at that point where she felt she was in a position where she could get out and needed to get out at one point, even though the abuse was happening. She still thought, oh, well, I'll get him help if I just stay longer. I'll get him help. Yeah, so that I think was extremely important to showcase in your video. And I think you did a really good job with that, Danny. And then we know that, yep. So you and Shay, we know, like, bonded and discussed narcissism a lot. And again, I think you did a fabulous job explaining that in your video. There was a revelation that happened that came out of your mouth, and then I want to say Ben said it later, but it kind of hit you both, so I don't know who had the revelation first. But can you play video 8? Because I really like this point.
Get another call from her, and she basically says everything that happened. She said she gave a statement to the police.
I was bruised. I had markings and stuff. Like, they had proof I was unconscious because they checked my eyes, something about the veins or something.
At one point, she said, this is when it hit home, and I realized something terrible had happened. She said, thank you for saving my life.
Shay was like, thank you for saving my life, because if it wasn't for Boston calling the cops, maybe Russ would have kept doing this to her.
So if the cops didn't come,
she probably would be too scared scared to call the cops because she doesn't want to get hurt again. But like choking someone till they pass out, and definitely without consent, like that's just your own sick pleasure. Like that's not a pleasure with a couple because the other person's not consenting. He's doing the McKamey Manor on her.
That's the revelation, I think. He's doing the McKamey Manor on her.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, and why does Russ do McKamey Manor? Because that's what makes him happy. He likes to hurt people. So if he's not doing McKamey Manor, who else is he going to hurt? It's not like he has friends. It's like Shay or any girlfriend that he has.
Right.
And I remember being on the phone with you. It was summertime. It was right. I think you guys had only released a few episodes at that point, but you guys were ahead of the game. Like the series was almost done filming and all that. And it was me, you, and Ben on the phone. And you guys brought up that point. Like, what happens if we stop the manor from going on? Like, does it result in other people, of him just going to people in his personal life? And that was always a concern that, unfortunately, unless the authorities got involved, it could not be prevented.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was definitely in Ben's mind a lot. Because like, Ben always likes to see both sides. Like he's like he likes to go from both sides. Like, oh, if we do this, what happens with that? Oh, if this happens, like he likes to see it all the way through. And he was definitely really worried about that. And then I got worried about that.
And then sadly, something similar to that happened. It wasn't anyone's fault. I think it was kind of an inevitable situation.
Well,
and
even if tours were going on, that was going to happen.
Yeah. I think that I'm just so incredibly proud of Shay for how far she's come and her healing process. And thank God that it wasn't a longer situation or a longer relationship. And thank God we were all in touch with each other and things happened to stop it. I think the most, and I don't know, because like I'm in this situation, like we're all in this situation. So I don't know what the most like, oh my God moment is in your video to like an outside viewer, you know? Someone who's like not aware of the situation and hasn't been kind of aware of all of this for a few months now. But this clip, if I had to guess, and you guys can tell me in chat, anyone who's new here, new following along with all of this, tell me what you think. But this clip, I think, is like the oh my God moment that we have that you shared in your video 9.
To think of a loophole. How can I choke this girl and get away with it? And this is what he tried to do.
What he wanted me to do was make a video saying that if I died or something, that it was all consensual, we're just really kinky and it went wrong, and we're both very happy and nothing weird happened. We just took it too far, probably.
Oh shit, so you actually had a contract. That's crazy. Oh, you didn't make the video?
No, but he wanted me to, and he kept saying, you need to make that video. You need to make that video. And I never did, because I was like, I don't know. Because then I was like, in the back of my head, I'm like, what's stopping you from, after I make that video, just killing me? Because I'm saying on video that no matter what, you definitely didn't kill me.
I remember the day Shay told us about that. When it was, you know, before this video was made, when it was just brought to our attention. And that was the moment I was truly terrified.
That's really scary. That is like so creepy. And I don't even, I'm like lost for words on that, just because I can't believe someone would even suggest that.
Yeah. Like you know, if something happens, I want to make sure they know it was with consent. It's just, and what's so weird is that it's also very like McKamey Manor, like, in the sense that it's some sort of, he thinks it's some sort of legal loophole, but you cannot consent to being tortured. Specifically, like you can't consent to being held with no safe word. You can't consent. I mean, that was in the Hulu documentary. I think that was she a lawyer? She worked with prisoners of war or something.
She was a victim rights activist, I believe.
But you definitely cannot consent to being murdered. Yeah, Ashley, I agree. Yeah, I think we have like one more
clip, and then we're going to open it up for anybody, if anybody has any quick questions for Danny, and then we will write.
Hey. In my case, it doesn't mean anything. Stop making me into a monster. It's my fucking PTSD and shit and curiosity, and it's happened a couple of times. Quit turning me into a monster.
Those intrusive thoughts have zero to do with PTSD. Those are my thoughts, and that really irritates me when he says that.
His get out card is like, oh, these are just intrusive thoughts. I don't mean them. But if you're having actual thoughts like that, like there's something wrong.
Voice clip of him arguing with her about him being attracted to kids and justifying it and gaslighting her about and saying that.
The little girl over there thinking she had a better butt than you did and comparing it.
How old was the little kid?
She had to have been like 5.
5 years old.
This is sick, disgusting. Like even Russ's other ex-girlfriend, like years ago, came out publicly on YouTube talking about Russ's sick thoughts about kids.
Sometimes he would tell me that he had inappropriate thoughts about kids. He started to talk about some of these thoughts involving my son. For example, is it wrong that I think about your son when I'm masturbating? Is it wrong that I think about your son's penis? Is it wrong that when I ejaculate, I say your son's name? Tell me it's okay.
I don't even know what to say to that. That is beyond messed up. And obviously Shay wants to confront him about it, but because he's a narcissist, look what happens.
I'm going to tell you all the most horrible things that come through my brain. And if you react at all, other than to tell me nothing means nothing, then I'm going to threaten to blow my brains out and say that you contaminated everything. It's abuse to put your sick thoughts onto other people. And he does that repetitively to friends or girlfriends, anyone who he gets close to. He tells them these thoughts and makes them tell him it's okay. And that's some sort of weird control and very abusive.
Threatened like killing himself as well, not only you, but himself.
Oh yeah, a lot to everybody. As far as I know, most everybody in his life, he's threatened suicide at one point.
He attempted to commit suicide in front of me to get me to stay. It's a tactic he uses to get people to stay.
You know a lot about narcissists.
They will go to the craziness to not take accountability, to make you feel powerless, and to make you have the craziest reaction, make you feel bad from anything to not take accountability. And look what he says.
Fuck this. I'm gonna be dead soon. You're right. I'm gonna be dead.
So that's a mashup. That's not Danny's original video. I took a bunch of different clips that I thought kind of talked about the manipulation and the intrusive thoughts and like how he puts that on people. You have to everyone go check out Danny's video if you want to see that part. MC facepalm.
Chris, you missed that comment. It's funny.
Oh, I saw it. I
saw it when we were watching. But yeah, I think that's also like this being the reason I wanted to play this clip last, is that I think you did an excellent job. All of these stories have been out there for years from all these different people. You did such a good job collecting, the different voices, putting them all together into this video of the excuse he gives when he has these thoughts. Oh, it's just my intrusive thoughts. It's just my intrusive thoughts. And how he puts that on other people and manipulates them. Like I said, when we had our interview, I think that's just straight up abuse to do that to people. He's done it to my best friend here.
Yeah. That, and real quick, if you have any questions for Danny, start putting them in chat and I'll tell this story. Yeah, when I would mod for Russ, when he would want me to reach out to his exes or maybe just go at somebody else and I didn't do it, that was always held over my head that he was going to off himself if I didn't do it, and it would be on my hands that a life was lost.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot. It happened a lot.
Mm-hmm. And you never know when you threaten something like that to, like, that's just the sickest thing you could do to someone. You never know if that person has gone through a loss where somebody has unalived themselves. That's a threat that he, like Shay said when you interviewed her, pretty much everyone in his life who he's been close to can say that they've had that threat at one point or another.
Happened to me.
Yeah, it's hard. It's the sickest thing you can do to someone. I'm so sorry.
Nobody's responsible for Russ but Russ.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't a direct question to any of us, but yeah, how hasn't he mentally been taken away?
Yeah, I wonder what his reaction was to my video. Like, Shay told me he doesn't watch the videos. He has, like, other people watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll watch, like, clips. Like, if he's like, what's an important part to watch? Like, he'll watch, like, a clip, but he doesn't watch the full videos. I wonder if he actually watched the full video of this one.
Right. And, you know, and that was always... that's also another huge problem is he's hearing things out of context, right? Yeah. Something that may not be a major point for him, he's not hearing it because they're hyper focused on something else, you know, and so he goes on to his live saying his things and running, which I mean it's fine because then he runs to his lawyer with stupid things that aren't going to go anywhere because he doesn't want to own up and hear the truth being said. Yep. About what's happening to him.
So for instance, Shay said a lot of her fights were about me and Ben. Mm-hmm. And Shay was telling him that, like, hey, she was talking about our Yellow Deli series. Like, hey, these guys actually do good work and try to do good things in the world. She was telling him, he's like, I feel like these guys are actually, like, doing it for the right reasons. And he's like, and she was like, you got to watch the video to understand. And he just wouldn't do it. He didn't want to know that we were doing good things. And also, I guess Russ hates that I'm a surfer. He doesn't like me being a surfer. That's what Shay said. He just doesn't like people that like talk like how I talk, and me being just like a surfer. He just thinks that we're stupid.
I've never heard you say surfer things. Like I've never heard you say hang 10.
Well, that's what a kook say. You never say that ever in your life.
No.
No, the only... Wait, what is it that Ben says all the time?
He
what?
Yeah,
was that it? No, it's something, and we used to talk about it.
He always does hand mechanisms. He goes, we're gonna take down McKamey, like he always does that.
But no, yeah, he does.
See a dude, or
no, what is it, Chris?
Like,
because when we first started talking to you guys, Chris and I used to talk to each other and like pretend we were Ben. Pretend we were like from California. Even though he's not from California.
Because I hang out with Ben so much, I talk like him sometimes.
You pick it up. Yeah, what is it?
Hey, but that's a question for you guys to answer, not me.
No, these are questions for you.
Well, that one
you can't answer?
That one's your guys's.
What is your hope for the...
I read that wrong. I read that wrong. All right.
Yeah, so let's read it out loud. What is your hope for the future prosecution of Russ? Do you think the system will work for the victims here? Danny?
I mean, you know more about the case than I do, but I really hope that all the evidence fits the crime and he gets punished. I don't want him to be out in the free world so he can do something to someone else. So I really hope like he's on house, if he doesn't go to jail, he's on like house arrest or the ankle bracelet or just something where he's can't just run freely. That would be my hope.
Yeah. My hope is this has become such a forefront to the public now, and it almost puts that weight on the justice system at this point. Like, we need to show that this isn't okay. And there is a stockpile of evidence that shows this isn't okay. Not only from what happened to Shay, but I mean, you got business practices, you got all these past relationships, you got San Diego for how many years. It just shows the pattern of abuse and how it's not going to stop.
And there's never been accountability.
Mm-hmm.
I would say my hope is that my answer to that is I don't have a whole lot of faith in the system and how the outcomes come out for victims, sadly. I don't have a whole lot of faith, but I have a whole lot of hope that there is some sort of punishment, and that there is some sort of, if he's not going to take accountability, that there's some sort of forced accountability for his actions. That's all I can hope for. Oh, did we just click on the same one?
Yep.
That's a good one.
I don't understand.
I don't know how. I think it's saying like every haunt you've ever done so far.
I mean,
I don't really.
I did 17th door.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I did McKamey Manor because I trolled when I went there. I was trolling them.
Yeah.
So then Crucible. I feel like it's not for me, but I'm really stoked I did it. Like, it was a crazy experience. It's not for me. Like, I guess my high, because I feel like people do this to like push themselves and stuff. And I guess my high, it's like I already did it. Like, the craziest thing probably I've ever done was getting stung by 200 bullet ants. Surviving that fear of pain, accomplish anything in my life.
Yeah.
Pretty much what brings me joy is surfing. Like, that's my happy place, is surfing and traveling the world and surfing the best waves. But for the haunted experiences, I have no regrets doing them. They're just not for me. But if Chris invited me to one, I'll do it.
Go.
Because
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of them.
I was going to say, do you get scared easily? I was actually going to ask Chris, like, going through 17th door.
I didn't think, no, they held their own.
Yeah?
No, well, like, getting tased is pretty fun, actually. So that doesn't bother me. I feel like ghosts scare me. If you think about that there's actual ghosts in this world, if that's true, that's kind of freaky to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more like they're a cool experience, but I'd rather just go do something else.
Yeah.
So people are saying this is the most important question here: is will Danny strip at Shay's wedding or no?
Or no? Oh, I saw a bachelorette party. Now it's a wedding.
Yeah. She just keeps moving it.
Right. She's like, all during this live, she got engaged. She's had the bachelorette. Now we're on to wedding.
Yeah, Shay, I'll bring it back.
Nice. So you have to have a California wedding now, Shay.
I still have the Speedo. It's in my closet.
What's your next project? I'm not sure if D realizes that your videos always cut off before your big announcement.
No, Ben used to do that in his videos, and I thought it was really cool, and he stopped doing it. I'm like, my videos, and he was cool.
It's hilarious.
Let me have it.
My dad cracked up.
But the point was we can't talk about it. That's why we literally can't. Legally.
Yeah. So for all those people who are like, where's the weekly videos, and where's why hasn't Ben posted in so long, and why haven't you posted in so long, Danny? Like,
you could have them Google Reckless Ben graffiti tower. Just Google that.
Let's just say there's plenty of content. Okay,
Yeah.
like be patient, people.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
You can find out what happened to Ben if you Google that. That's all I can say. But I did something different that I was a part of. We can't talk about that. Like the graffiti tower one, Ben did on his own because I was involved. But there was just something we infiltrated together, and some things happened.
And it will be worth the wait for all you nosies to see someday.
Yeah, well, we're always working. I mean, I'll take mental health breaks and go to Bali, but when I'm home, like I'm home, all I do is work. And like people go, you don't post. Well, like we got in trouble, and then but like it's for a good cause. We're trying to do good.
It's a risky job, guys. It's a risky job. Infiltrating is serious business. I don't think people realize.
But then the editing takes super long too. Well, I guess my next video actually, because I can't post what the other thing is. Went back to the Yellow Deli series. There was an ex-cult member that we secretly recorded, and we thought he was so brainwashed. He was done. There was no way he was leaving that cult. He's out of the cult, and he DM'd us on Instagram, and we interviewed him, And it was crazy because we question them on all the messed up stuff they believe. And it gets really good because you know how Ben will always get to the point, and the guy just like we stump.
Wow.
It gets pretty good.
Is that coming soon?
It's half edited. I don't know. I hope
so.
I'm probably gonna take a week break because I worked so hard on the last.
You need a break. Yeah.
And then I'll go back to editing.
I got a question for you. Is there something out there that you really want to do? Like, is there like a video that you haven't started, but it's always in your head, like, this is what I want to go and do eventually?
Well, the one we did will be the biggest thing of our career, but we can't talk about it.
Right.
I was going to say, you can't ask him even about future projects because the whole point is that people won't know that he's infiltrating.
I feel like the nail in the coffin was the one we just did. Like can't talk about.
Yeah. Freddie Savage from 17th Door says hi. Hi, Danny.
That's the guy that was driving the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah. He's a very good he's a close friend of ours.
Oh, he's a legend. He's so
funny. And for some reason, Carrie is sharing your surfing videos. If anyone wants to check those out on Instagram. He is really good at surfing, guys.
Yeah, before social media, that was my life. I was traveling the world.
Yeah.
I did like competitively surfing. Like, that was my life. I was just be a pro surfer, and I was like homeschooled in high school. It was basically a homeschool. It was like a private school because I traveled so much for surfing. I couldn't go to real school. And then when I was 21, my social media blew up, and I just was like, it's so hard to make money in surfing. So I was like, I love making videos. So then I could still make videos and surf.
And surf. Yeah. It's a perfect combination. This isn't a question, but
Tim, I love Taylor Tim. He's a cool guy.
Yes. If there's another Jackass movie, Danny better be a cast member. Would you be if you were asked to be in it?
Of course.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're friends with some of the guys from
the new members.
The new one, yeah.
Watch the new movie, Jackass and Poopies.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were on Zackass's podcast talking about McKamey Manor.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that. I think we dropped it actually when it came out in our Facebook group. For anyone who is interested in following along all of the McKamey Manor saga, make sure that you are, subscribed or joined? Make sure you're a member of our Facebook group, McKamey Manor Road Trip. The link should be in our description, right?
Yep.
Okay. That's a good way to just be caught up with updates because we don't do videos on everything that happens. And we have to keep in mind, we still have a lawsuit out there against somebody that Russ is trying to sue somebody from the Hulu documentary and Hulu that was dismissed. So we're still following that case, of course. Mm-hmm. Of course, Shay's case is the most important to us, and then the Attorney General investigation into the business practices and consumer protection laws. So there's still a lot, and we will keep you updated in our Facebook group.
Yep. And so I just want to say, Danny, thank you for coming up and taking the time and hanging out with us today. Is there any last thing that you want to say? You want to tell everybody where they can find you? We have been dropping your YouTube link, but where else can people find you when they need more Danny in their life?
Well, first, I would never say no to you guys. Like, I'm free. I will do whatever you guys want. Email, whatever. Like, I got your back always. Basically kind of all I care about is YouTube. So just my YouTube, Danny Burke. But if I'm not posting and you guys are wondering where I am, I very consistently post Instagram stories, and it's just kind of like my life. Like when I was in Bali, I was kind of like filming a lot of stuff on my stories in Bali and stuff. So if you're wondering, oh, what's Danny doing? Like, I mean, I don't post stories every day, but pretty consistently, and then you can see what I'm doing.
And it's fun to follow along, and it's fun to be like, oh my gosh, randomly just Danny like chasing chickens or like surfing somewhere. Yeah. He goes on these crazy adventures. So it's worth following along on your Instagram for sure, I think. Thank you so much, man, for coming up here.
Messages, guys.
Yeah. People love you.
I think I forgot to message back Taylor a bit ago. I got to message him back.
It's all right. I forgot his name once. I forgot that I hung out with him for a week.
Yeah.
It's really bad. I'm a horrible friend to Taylor.
Yeah. And I haven't talked to Taylor in like months. He knows we love him.
If you guys DM me, I'll message back. Like, I love talking to everyone.
Yeah. You're like a very approachable, easy to talk to person. We're just so glad that we formed this friendship with you. We're so glad you were there for Shay in a way that was extremely important. You did give her a huge sense of closure. That was huge for all of us. And just thank you for that video, and for doing it in a tasteful and educational way. And I'm sure.
Well, thank you.
Huh?
You guys.
Oh, of course.
Made my video with Shay. Like, couldn't have been possible without you guys as well.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is the story is out there. Shay is comfortable with the story, and hopefully this has such a big enough reach that there is no more victims to follow. The warning's out there, and like you said earlier, it's a team effort. It's not one group, it's not one person. It is everybody working together and spreading this awareness. So
it's going to happen during the court.
Yeah, everyone stay tuned. It could,
couple days.
regardless of the outcome, I want Shay to know how many people in this community 100% have her back. It's this uncomfortable and scary situation going through the court process. Not only do we have your back always, this community clearly is here for you as well. So thank you, everyone, for your kindness and understanding, and for being advocates, and spread the word. Share Danny's video and to everybody out there, and get the word out, okay?
All right, everybody.
With that said,
thanks for tonight.
Support, guys, and keep following Horror Road Trip, because I love them, and they're really good at what they do.
We appreciate it, man. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all the people that donated and gifted memberships. We appreciate you. And we'll see you on Saturday if you're a member, or Friday if you're a member.
Friday.
And then next Tuesday, we'll be back to the public live. All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.